Alright guys, time to talk about COTI on the channel once again. Now, the last time we talked about COTI was back in mid-December. So, I want to take a look at this chart first from a weekly time perspective here. And you can basically see that this is just, if I draw a trend line, this is just going up, guys. I mean, basically, trend line every time. If I put like the trend line like this, yeah, I mean, it is just going up and up and up, making higher lows along the way. So that is this just slightly. But there you go, guys. That is pretty much the trend line that it is following at this moment. Now, we are getting a bounce off that. Next resistance will be up here at about 11.3 cents. And it is getting a bullish engulfing candle from the previous week right now. So that is also nice to see. Now, if we take a look at this on a daily, I'm going to jump over to the daily real quick. Let's take a look and see what is going on. Yeah, actually today is, that basically, we had a little bit of a deviation here. I really see that on a weekly time frame, but yeah, you did have kind of a little bit of a deviation here for a couple of days. Yesterday, broke back above the 9.3 cents. As well as the trend line. So, you can see it did get rejected the day before that. It tried, but failed. But yesterday, that push through was enough. And today, if I zoom in even farther, you get kind of a retest of this. You get a retest of 9.3 cents and this trend line. And that's why we're probably getting a bounce, guys. We're taking out the previous, 11 days or so of trading. Also nice to see. So now if I turn on the RSI, let's see how much strength this has. I do imagine there will be a lot of strength because COTI has been so weak lately. Now on a daily time frame, you do see it going up quite sharply, so that is nice to see. Let me go back to the weekly time frame, and yeah, it looks like it's oversold here on the Stoke, and it is pointing to the upside right in the middle though with the RSI. So weekly and daily, really good. Let me see monthly. It might actually look pretty good too. That's a little bit longer time frame. It's really slow. Let's see if this will load. Okay. Kind of going flat or sideways. It is maybe going to turn to the upside here on the Stoke, but basically going sideways here on the RSI. So nothing terrible. Basically just sideways though, I would say. Now on the 4-hour time frame, it is actually over bought on the Stoke, and it is, going heavily to the upside on the RSI, almost in the overbought territory, but for now, still not there. On the hour time frame, let's take a look at this. It is, come on, let's load. Yeah, okay, and it is actually overbought on both RSI and Stoke RSI. And let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. Now, it is overbought on the RSI, and Stoke RSI is pointed to the upside, and it looks like it'll be overbought here shortly. So, all in all, guys, shorter time frames don't look as great as the longer time frames, like daily, weekly, and monthly. So you may see this pretty much, stop shortly, running, and may consolidate for a little while, or whatever, but yeah, longer term it doesn't look bad, guys. Now let me turn on the volume. I just want to see the fixed range, or visible range actually, sorry, the visible range. Let me put this on a weekly time frame, and let's see where all the volume is. And I just want to get an idea here. Okay, this goes back to, about February of 2020. So we have really enough information here to work with, I think. Let me put this down a little bit. Okay, so we are still in one of these bigger nodes here. So that, we need to push through. You can see we're right here. It's kind of hard to see it, but we're right there. Once we get above this resistance, basically, let's just say 12.2 cents, the volume drops off very rapidly. So if I go like this, let's pull this down a little bit. Now you can see a little bit better, but yeah, once we get above, 12 point, let's just say 2 cents, We still have a little bit bigger node here, but really we're going to start dropping off very quickly as we go up. So that is nice to see. Now let's go to the tokenomics of COTI, guys. Basically there's 2 billion max supply. Most of this is actually circulating, so that is nice to see. And yeah, if we scroll down, the high that we ever had for COTI was 67 cents basically, guys. So you're getting an 85% discount at the moment. So if you're thinking of picking up a good token that a lot of other influencers talk about, this would be one. It's 85% down, guys. Really not bad. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, it is getting kind of a bounce. So that is nice to see. We are hanging on to 104,525 at the moment, at least on a 4-hour time frame. So let's see, the daily right now, it is turning green, so that's good to see as well. Let's see where this closes a little bit later today. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, is breaking through this trend line as well as the 3313 mark at the same time. So let's see if we have enough, to really push through both and hold. We still have about 9 hours on the clock before this candle closes. So still plenty of time. It can get rejected. If it were going to fall under this trend line, it would be about 33, let's say 40. So right now it's about 18 bucks above that, and it's gaining, so that's great. Now, taking a look at the crypto total market cap, guys, it is moving up. We are just 0.09 of a trillion under the high here. So let's see what happens. I don't think we're going to get there today. I would be surprised if we did, but we still have time. You never know. Total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, looking good. It actually came down to really retest this trend line, and it did get a bounce once it broke through yesterday. So that is nice to see as well. I do believe 1.55 is the next stop here. Dominance. It is, since my last video, it is, looking like it's getting a little bit of a bounce here. It was a little bit lower, so we do have to, break down below 59%. That would be the most ideal situation. Right now we're breaking through this trend line, so let me extend this a little bit, and we'll see what happens. But we are still in a W pattern here. Maybe this is a retest basically of the neckline, which would be bad. If we see this, this candle turn green, that would probably just mean it's a retest, and then we're going to see all the way up here at the technical target, 63.31 or 3%, and that would be really, really devastating for altcoin holders like me. I would lose tens of thousands of dollars if I see 63%, So anyways, let's see what happens. Still a lot of time on the clock. Personally, I do believe this is going to break down. I do not believe we're going to make new highs. But we are just really not that far from the high we've had, just recently. Now, liquidation heat map, guys. ETH, most liquidated, then Bitcoin, then others. Only 173 million have been liquidated in the last 24 hours, so that's pretty good, guys. If we look at the altcoin season index, guys, it's a 57. And basically, it's maintaining these peaks. We did get kind of a big bounce here. You can see from about 46 all the way to 57. That is quite a bounce, actually. So really nice to see. I think altcoin season is coming soon. Remember, we're actually closer to altcoin season than Bitcoin season at the moment. So if you take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, you have 76 today. Yesterday was a 70, so we have gone up quite a bit. You don't really want to see extreme greed. Whenever you see extreme greed, for a longer period, you expect to crash. So not really what I want to see. I want to see a little bit lower. I would like to see maybe 70 or below, maybe around 60, 65, 70, maximum 70. Let's take a look at the bull market peak indicators. So basically nothing is hit. Everything is, it's 0 from 30. So you have 100% hold here. Pi cycle top indicator is the best indicator to go by. If I show you this, you can see how far it is from crossing. So we were still closer in June of this year. So I think we have about 5 months at least, maybe 6 months still. Now, taking a look at next week on the economic calendar, guys, we do have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. We do have ISM numbers here. We do have Bostic speaking next week. Tuesday, JOLTS job openings is most important. You do have a couple of FOMC members speaking. You do have factory orders too. But job openings is probably most important, and maybe what these two guys say could, spark some volatility. Now, ADP non-farm employment change on Wednesday, as well as some PMI, ISM numbers as well. Plus, you have an FOMC member speaking here, Bowman. Thursday, jobless claims and non-farm productivity. You do have a couple more members speaking on Thursday. And on Friday, basically non-farm payrolls is most important. But you do have things like average hourly earnings. You do have private non-farm payrolls. You do have Michigan numbers. And so that's kind of a big day as well. Now, if we take a look at crypto bubbles, guys, mainly across the board, it's mostly green. Today you can see is in the green here. In the last hour, kind of red. But the week is also red for some reason. But today, looking kind of nice. So, yeah. And if you want to coins, guys, go to Coinondo and type in, for example, Bitcoin. You'll get the number of days that you have to stake your coins or lock your coins up. Here's the limits and things. Be aware. Don't send 200, Bitcoin to Whitebit thinking you're going to get this percentage, because you're not going to, guys. So, be careful. Read everything carefully. Don't get locked up in something you don't want to be locked up in for the long term, if you're planning to sell. So I think, if you're going to lock for 360 days, well, that's quite a risk at this point. Even 180 days would be quite a risk, even though I said, we probably have about 5 or 6 months before that line crosses here on the Pi cycle top indicator. It's really risky, guys. So keep in mind, we don't know what's going to happen 6 months out. Now, flexible or 30 days or something, probably the most ideal staking, length of time. But it's up to you what you want to do, guys. I am not your father. I am not your mother. You can do as you please. So anyways, if you like this video, guys, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.